Subnormal. This is the car that sometimes stalls brain, with an IQ between 55 and 70. People in this range can manage many everyday tasks, but abstract thinking is like decoding alien hieroglyphs. They may take longer to learn new skills, yet when given structure, visual aids, and repetition, they shine. Hands-on tasks and hobbies are their playgrounds. Building a shelf, tending a garden, or organizing a closet can feel deeply satisfying. The key to improvement is patience, step-by-step guidance, and celebrating small wins. Picture them assembling IKEA furniture. They follow the instructions carefully, might check in after every screw, but the final bookshelf is flawless, and the proud smile is priceless. Below average. These have some basic limitations, with an IQ between 70 and 85. Here we find the almost got it, just needs a nudge brains. Daily life is manageable, but multi-step tasks or abstract reasoning can trip them up. They're the dependable road trip buddies who may need GPS, but once they have directions, they navigate like pros, and often add a joke or two to keep spirits high. They're excellent at practical problem solving, organizing, and following routines. Guided practice, concrete examples, and gradual challenges help them grow. Imagine a jigsaw puzzle. Pieces are confusing at first, but with a little patience, the picture slowly emerges, and the satisfaction is immense. Low average. These are slightly below norm, with an IQ between 85 and 95. This is the lagging laptop brain. Reliable most of the time, but occasionally needs a restart during multitasking or abstract thinking. People in this range can handle most daily tasks and learn new skills with a few extra tries. They're adaptable, persistent, and creative when encouraged. Improvement comes from deliberate practice, visual aids, and gradually increasing task complexity. Picture learning to ride a unicycle. A few wobbles and spectacular falls, a lot of perseverance, and then suddenly, effortless gliding down the street, with a proud grin and perhaps a triumphant wave to onlookers. Average. These have typical cognitive ability with an IQ between 95 and 105. This is the Swiss Army knife brain. They are versatile, dependable, and capable of handling most challenges life throws their way, unless too many browser tabs are open at once. People here can plan, solve problems, learn new skills, and even tell jokes while doing it. They thrive on curiosity, balanced challenges, and social interactions. To keep sharp, they benefit from lifelong learning, strategy games, hobbies, and healthy lifestyle habits. Imagine juggling a mystery novel, cooking dinner, and explaining quantum mechanics to a friend. Competent, balanced, and maybe a little show-offy, but totally impressive. Above average. These have a higher than norm IQ between 110 and 120. This is the mental multi-tool brain. People here learn quickly, adapt easily, and often excel in practical problem solving and abstract thinking. They're the type of friends who can juggle schedules, help plan a group trip, and still crack a clever joke along the way. Life is usually manageable, but repetitive or overly simple tasks can feel like paint drying on a wall. They thrive when challenged, and improvement comes from tackling puzzles, strategy games, creative projects, and occasionally mentoring others. Picture them finishing a crossword, organizing a mini workshop, and cooking a perfect meal all in one afternoon while humming a catchy tune. High. These have a strong cognitive ability with an IQ between 120 and 130. Meet the idea generator. This brain doesn't just solve problems, it invents them for fun. People in this range are curious, creative, and often excel academically or in specialized skills. Abstract reasoning is their playground, and they pick up new concepts quickly. Challenges include boredom with routine tasks, impatience with slower learners, and sometimes overthinking minor details. Improvement comes from intellectual challenges, creative hobbies, and collaboration. Imagine someone designing a board game in the morning, writing a short story in the afternoon, and effortlessly explaining a scientific concept by dinner. They do all this while sipping coffee like it's a secret superpower. Gifted. These are exceptional in learning or understanding with an IQ between 130 and 140. Welcome to the idea factory brain. Abstract thought, rapid learning, and creativity are practically natural talents here. People in this range often see patterns and connections others miss, making them exceptional problem solvers and innovators. Simple daily tasks may seem trivial, while intellectual pursuits are thrilling. Challenges include perfectionism, social impatience, and occasional boredom. Improvement comes from tackling complex projects, leading collaborative efforts, and mentoring peers. Picture this brain solving a math puzzle before breakfast, designing a miniature invention by lunch, and composing a poem at sunset, all while daydreaming up the next big idea. Highly gifted. These have rare cognitive aptitude with an IQ between 140 and 160. The rare gem brain. These individuals think in dimensions most people don't even know exist. Creativity, reasoning, and memory are off the charts, allowing for rapid learning and deep understanding of complex subjects. Socially, they may feel out of sync with the world, and boredom is a constant companion unless intellectually stimulated. Improvement comes from seeking extreme challenges, innovative projects, and mentoring other gifted individuals. Imagine someone reading 3 books simultaneously, designing a scientific experiment, and coding an app, all while casually solving a philosophical dilemma. This is what fun looks like for them. Genius. These have extraordinary intellectual ability with an IQ of 160 plus. Behold the world changer brain. Life is a mental amusement park, and mundane tasks feel almost quaint. They can conceptualize world-changing solutions while simultaneously excelling in arts, science, or abstract reasoning. Social interactions may be tricky, and patience is a rare virtue. Challenges include overstimulation, isolation, and boredom with anything less than monumental tasks. Improvement and fulfillment come from tackling groundbreaking projects, collaborating with peers of equal caliber, and balancing intense focus with rest and play. Imagine solving a global problem before lunch, inventing a new technology by dinner, and debating philosophy by bedtime. Their normal is everyone else's superhuman. Exceptional genius. These are top-tier intellectual outliers with an IQ between 170 and 200. This is the brain-level warp speed category. These folks think so fast and deeply that most people can barely keep up, like watching a Formula One race in slow motion. Learning, reasoning, and pattern recognition come naturally, and they often make breakthroughs that ordinary brains can only dream of. Challenges include extreme boredom, frustration with mundane tasks, and difficulty connecting with most people socially. They thrive on enormous intellectual challenges and opportunities to innovate. Picture someone solving a complex math theorem while casually composing a symphony and teaching a graduate-level seminar before breakfast. Yes, their morning coffee might get jealous. Specialist. These have mastery in one domain and mostly have an IQ between 160 and 180. Meet the laser-focused brain. Specialists dive so deep into one field that they know things even seasoned experts overlook. They might be world-class musicians, mathematicians, or surgeons, people whose mastery seems almost magical. The downside? Ask them about anything outside their specialty and their brain may respond like, "Wait, you mean that's a thing?" Improvement comes from refining their field, mentoring others, and occasionally trying to peek outside their comfort zone. Picture a neurosurgeon who can dissect a complex problem in seconds, but fumbles with IKEA furniture, because who has time for Allen keys when the brain is busy reshaping the human mind? Polymath, or hyper-integrator. These have mastery across multiple domains and have an IQ between 170 and 200 plus. This brain is like a Swiss Army knife, on steroids, in a spaceship. Polymaths can integrate knowledge from multiple fields effortlessly, seeing connections others can't even imagine. They can simultaneously write a philosophical treatise, design a scientific experiment, compose music, and invent a gadget that will make your smartphone jealous. Challenges include overcommitment, information overload, and occasionally alienating peers by thinking 10 steps ahead. They thrive on exploring cross-disciplinary projects and solving problems others didn't even know existed. Picture someone explaining quantum mechanics while sketching a futuristic city plan. Both activities are equally effortless. Creative innovator. These are original, novel, and inventive with an IQ of 160 plus. This is the idea alchemist brain. They don't just think, they remix reality, combining imagination and reasoning to invent entirely new concepts, products, or artistic movements. Their challenge is turning ideas into reality, because sometimes their mind moves faster than their hands, collaborators, or even the laws of physics. Improvement comes from building tangible projects, collaborating with skilled teams, and channeling creativity into meaningful outputs. Picture someone inventing a new musical instrument, writing a philosophical manifesto, and designing a futuristic app all in a single afternoon, while everyone else is still wondering what day it is. Visionary. Their ideas reshape how others think and have an IQ between 180 and 220 plus. Welcome to the Reshape the World brain. Visionaries don't just excel, they change the paradigm. Their ideas influence entire generations, shift industries, and make other humans ask, wait, how did they think of that? Socially, they may feel isolated because few can match their cognitive speed, but that's part of the charm. They thrive on massive projects, mentoring other high-level thinkers, and tackling problems that most would call impossible. Imagine inventing a new theory of everything, launching a global initiative, and composing a cultural manifesto all before breakfast, then casually sipping tea while watching the world try to catch up. Strategic executor. These convert vision into impactful action and have an IQ between 160 and 200 plus. Meet the real-world wizard. Strategic executors don't just have brilliant ideas, they make them happen. They're like chess grandmasters playing 10 games at once, with every move shaping a future you didn't even know existed. Their challenges are mostly logistical, keeping people aligned, overcoming inertia, and translating abstract brilliance into concrete results. They thrive on planning, project execution, and leadership. Picture someone designing a citywide sustainability initiative before lunch, running a global nonprofit by afternoon, and still hosting a strategy session for friends in the evening, all while keeping their coffee perfectly warm. Emotionally intelligent, or social architect. These have strong self-awareness, empathy, and influence, and mostly have an IQ between 150 and 190. This is the human whisperer brain. These people not only understand themselves deeply, they can read others like an open book and influence outcomes without anyone realizing it. They excel in relationships, leadership, and conflict resolution. Challenges? They may carry the emotional weight of everyone around them, and manipulation is a risk if the power is misused. Improvement comes from cultivating empathy, mentoring, and building emotionally resilient teams. Picture someone calming a tense boardroom, coaching a struggling friend, and negotiating a complex deal, all while smiling like they just had the perfect cup of tea. Wise, or sage. They convey judgment, ethical reasoning, and perspective, with an IQ between 160 and 200. This is the human compass brain. Sages combine intelligence with ethical reasoning, perspective, and judgment. They see the long-term consequences of actions, weighing wisdom over speed. Challenges include patience, isolation from less thoughtful peers, and the occasional frustration when the world seems stubbornly short-sighted. Improvement comes from reflection, dialogue, and experience. Imagine someone mediating a global conflict, writing a philosophical treatise, and mentoring young leaders, all while sipping a quiet cup of tea and quietly clucking at humanity's blunders. Self-directed or meta-intelligent. These understand and improve their own thinking and have an IQ between 170 and 220 plus. Meet the thinking about thinking brain. Meta-intelligent individuals not only process information exceptionally, they also monitor, evaluate, and improve their own cognitive strategies. Challenges include perfectionism, overanalysis, and occasionally spinning in mental loops. They thrive by studying their own minds, refining reasoning, and creating systems to solve problems efficiently. Picture someone designing a personal cognitive enhancement plan, analyzing it scientifically, and then using it to solve 3 unrelated complex problems before lunch. Because yes, that's just Tuesday. Transcendent or existentially enlightened. These have a profound understanding of life, meaning, and reality with an IQ between 180 and 250. Welcome to the Zen Master meets Cosmic Philosopher brain. These individuals integrate intelligence, wisdom, and awareness to understand life at a profound level: existence, consciousness, meaning, reality. Challenges include loneliness, incomprehension by peers, and the temptation to dwell in abstraction. Improvement comes from meditation, reflection, philosophical dialogue, and applying insight for positive change. Picture someone calmly observing human drama while simultaneously formulating a universal theory of happiness and teaching it to humanity through poetry, science, and art. Civilization-level transformer. These have ideas, leadership, or discoveries that reshape society or human understanding with an IQ of 200 plus. This is the world shaper brain. These are rare minds whose work or insight changes the course of human history. Think inventing new sciences, leading paradigm-shifting movements, or reshaping philosophy, technology, or governance. Challenges? Enormous responsibility, intense scrutiny, and the burden of vision others may not yet comprehend. They thrive on radical innovation, ethical leadership, and large-scale projects. Picture someone discovering a new energy source, rewriting social structures, and inspiring generations all before breakfast, while casually asking, "Did anyone have coffee yet?"